welcome our blood viewers to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. Let's follow. Towards enhanced regional integration for peace and sustainable development, the Horn of Africa. And on the international scene, the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency is in Japan. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. This morning at the Ritzy Hotel, over 60 intellectuals, researchers, and think tank representatives gathered for an important two-day conference on regional integration in the Horn of Africa. This unique platform aims to discuss the current state of the regional integration in the Horn of Africa, focusing on the challenges and prospects for peace, security, and the economy. The conference brought together experts and decision makers from countries across the region. The event also attracted the attention of international partners. Over the 2 days, participants will examine the major challenges facing the Horn of Africa in terms of regional integration. Discussions will also focus on the prospects for regional integration and how to overcome this challenge through panel discussions. This conference is an important step towards greater regional integration in the Horn of Africa. In their various speeches, participants stressed the importance of continuing dialogue and collaboration to transform the ideas and recommendations discussed at this meeting into concrete actions that will benefit the entire region. The event also attracted growing interest from the regional and international press, who recognized its crucial role in promoting peace, stability, and sustainability development in the Horn of Africa. Let's listen to some of the speeches that were made at this event.
This is the first round of the dialogue series, which focuses on creating awareness and influence policy directions on the state of regional integration in the Horn of Africa. I believe such regional dialogue has critical importance by addressing the present predicaments and envisioning our shared future. The Horn of Africa sub-region specifically, and the East Africa region in general, has intergovernmental authority on development in the East African community as a prime example of socio-economic and political integration. However, the region and the regional efforts herein face multitude of challenges.
The motivation behind this conference comes from recognizing the imperative to have a candid discussion among stakeholders in the region on the intricacies of the problems standing in the way of regional integration and the potential it bears. In these 2 days, we will explore recent trends of regional integration in the Horn, the growing impediments to them, as well as the possibilities presented by efforts of regional integration in terms of peace, security, as well as economic development. It's reasonable to assume that the regional integration we aspire for in the Horn of Africa goes beyond the realms of economics and trade. It encompasses the vital dimensions of peace, security, and stability. Thus, we must seek to work tirelessly to resolve conflicts, strengthen institutions, and foster a culture of dialogue. Silencing the guns is imperative.
It was then the turn of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to discuss important issues. Let's listen to him.
All here today, one of the main outcomes of the Abuja summit of the Organization of the African Unity held in 1991. The African Economic Community Treaty was identified and adopted at that historic summit. 8 of the RECs, the regional economic communities, were identified as the building blocks of the regional and continental integration process. Since then, the African Union developed several mechanisms and introduced many reforms in the framework of Agenda 2063. The ultimate goal is to create the environment for a prosperous and integrated continent. 4 years ago, in 2019, the African Continental Free Trade Area Treaty was signed and ratified by most of the member countries of the African Union. However, we still have very low performance in terms of intra-African trade. The main impediments are obviously the absence or the poor quality of transport infrastructure, let alone the fragile value chain and, to some extent, the discrepancies existing between different national policies with regard to cross-border trade and cross-border movement of goods and individuals. And last but not least, the security parameter is certainly decisive in the whole process of integration. Terrorist groups, militias, and all kinds of traffickers can derail efforts made by governments in order to bridge the gap between countries for the sake of integration. Peace and stability also remain the main pillar at the continental level of Agenda 2063. More recently, during the 14th IGAD Ordinary Summit held in Djibouti, member countries adopted and signed the new treaty of the organization. Indeed, all these policy organs and instruments are meant to deliver and help achieve the regional and continental integration process.
Yesterday morning saw the official launch of the integrated system for prefectures at the Ali Sabih prefecture. This inauguration marks a decisive step in the vision of improving the efficiency, transparency, and quality of administrative services in our country. The prefect of the Ali Sabih region opened the event by expressing his gratitude to all those who had contributed to the development and implementation. He stressed the importance of this initiative in improving the efficiency, transparency, and quality of prefectural administration services offered to citizens. At the end of the ceremony, in the presence of officials, the trained prefectural agents demonstrated their mastery of the system. The event closed with the presentation of certificates to the agents of the Ali Sabih prefecture who had benefited from training sessions on the integrated prefecture system organized by NC since May 2023 in the capital and in the interior regions. Today, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdul, chaired a wide-range consultation meeting alongside Mr. Duali Saeed Mahmoud, Director General of the National Agency for People with Disabilities. The meeting, which also brought together the technical teams from both institutions, had as its central objective to draw up a joint action plan between the Ministry of Social Affairs and Solidarity and the ANPH. During the discussions, a number of crucial topics were addressed concerning the inclusion of people with disabilities. Among them was the implementation of interoperability aimed at bringing together the biometric database of the inclusion mobility card and the social register with a view to improving their coordination and usefulness. The results of this strategic consultation will pave the way for enhanced collaboration between MAS and EMPH, enabling us to offer improved support to people with disabilities and ensure their full participation in all aspects of society. The National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and UNICEF, this morning organized a training session of mobilizers of associations for persons with disabilities on the nutrition of children with disabilities. The training took place at the People's Palace and was co-chaired by AMPH Managing Director Mr. Duali Saeed Mahmoud and the Director of Mother and Child Health Mrs. Fatuma Ali Abdullah, with the participation of AMPH officials and representatives of the Ministry of Health. The aim of the training was to provide mobilizers working closely with the National Network of People with Disabilities with a basic understanding of nutrition and the different forms of malnutrition in children. This training of mobilizers for disabled people's associations on child nutrition is part of the implementation of the work plan to improve access to health care. The IGAD Rail Caravan Original Integration, led by the Secretary General of the Ministry of the Interior, Mr. Siraj Umar Abdul Ghadir, left Dirdawa early this morning, Tuesday, July 4th, bound for Addis Ababa. In the afternoon, the delegation stopped at the Adama station, the historic Djiboutian town of Nazareth. On arrival, they were welcomed by the mayor of Adama, Mr. Hailu Jalde, at the station where, as at every step over, they were greeted by the planting of trees just behind the station to seal the bond of friendship between the two countries. The Djiboutian delegation was then treated to a reception featuring Oromo folk music and dance, and as a token of appreciation and thanks, the mayor of Adama and the notables traditionally decorated the influential members of the delegation with a white loincloth, a black baton, and a headband for their efforts and dedication. The mayor of Adama welcomed the Djibouti delegation led by Mr. Siraj, noting that this testified to the excellent relationship between the two countries and the two peoples.
يمعونك سفر أساد وعزب فوح عليه سيسيكو قراي قحين يا بابورتيو جبوتي يا طبي يا انتوبكو علي لك نوز بيا يدالي جبوتي يا طبي يا انتوبكو علي لك نوز بيا يدالي ما تدري عذابتونك تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينا جبوتي يا طبي يا انتوبكو عليك نوز بايدالي جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينقلي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوين جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينقلي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينقلي يمعونك سفر أساد وعزب فوح عليه سيسيكو قراي قحين يا بابورتيو جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينا.
And after that, on the evening of Tuesday, July 4, 2023, the IGAD Regional Integration Rail Delegation led by Mr. Siraj Umar Abdulqadir was welcomed with great fanfare in the town of Shagar, a suburb of Addis Ababa. On arrival, they were greeted by Purtukan Ayano, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Mayor of Shagar, Dr. Tashom Adoina, and Abdi Mahmoud Ebe, Djibouti's ambassador to Ethiopia. As they disembarked from the public diplomacy train, the delegation planted symbolic trees along their railway journey and inland regional objective. Let's watch.
جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينقلي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينقلي يمعونك سفر أساد وعزب فوح عليه سيسيكو قراي قحين يا بابورتيو جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي جبوتي يا طبي يا توبكو عليك نوز بايدالي ما تدري على الدنيا تنقلي الدليل لونك بوينا.
Member of the Djiboutian public diplomacy. With the 21st urban development thinking and philosophy, The major objective of the new smart city Shaggar to enhance urban food security, improve the modern urban governance, knowledge and skill-based job creation. Shaggar focus on the modern urban agricultures. Shaggar working on building strong and competent urban economy, which is the missed part of the Ethiopian history in urban development.
Let's listen now to the speeches of the Ambassador of Djibouti and the Ethiopian Minister.
And Ethiopia share excellent, indeed exemplary relations in all areas, like the railway that you took to come to Addis Ababa, ports, road infrastructures, power and services, water services connection. The two countries share beyond those factors, and the two leaders are always working hard to give a better future to our two people. The leaders of the two countries have always the desire to enhance and strengthen those unique and special bilateral relations that we have in our two countries. I thank you very much, and again I welcome the Djiboutian delegation to their second home.
I'm honored to extend a warm welcome to the esteemed Djiboutian public diplomacy team to Ethiopia. I'm delighted to see you all arriving at your second home. In fact, this journey is from home to home. Welcome again to your home. The Ethio-Djibouti family summer trip shows a new phase in our thriving bilateral relation. This trip, for sure, will take our people-to-people relationship to the next level. The political commitment of our two countries, the guidance and the special attention from our leaders, the commitment of the different line ministries, and the dedication of our experts, and above all, the will and aspiration of our peoples is the engine behind our efforts.
As usual, the Djibouti Evolution Association organized for the third year running the National Evolution Days with the support of the UNDP, part of the Global Evolution Initiative's G Local 23 World Evolution Week. This initiative is a flagship knowledge-sharing event for a wide range of stakeholders in monitoring, evolution, and development. This year's theme is the future of cultural context and collaboration. ADE also plans to organize days dedicated to promoting the practice of evolution in the country's region. Djibouti's representative in Somaliland organized a ceremony to commemorate the 46th anniversary of the Republic of Djibouti's national independence. The event, held in the city of Hargeisa, was attended by senior Somaliland officials, including the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Defense, the Djiboutian Committee, and the two Djiboutian holiday makers in Somaliland. The event was animated by artistic groups.
Irdu kala of qabowe agon koriyay jabuta mahadu maddo adigti into qaraxda sarti maha ubad kugu barbaray markaad oriyada umistay maha oday ku duceeyay agon koriyay buutaay maxaad ummadda u adeegtay intuu qadhaxdaada sartay maxaa ubad kugu barbaaray markaad olyada
horta iga guddooma salaan kashka iyo laabta ka soo gooday.
Also in the south, as part of the Summer Games, the town of Asamo in the Ali Sibih region hosted a major sporting event. On the menu were traditional games and above all athletics, which aroused great interest among spectators. The participants demonstrated their talent and endurance under the watchful eyes of the judges. The organizers were delighted with the success of the event. They stressed that this sporting event aims to promote the values of solidarity, fair play, and healthy competition. In addition to notables and other personalities from the region, the event was attended by officials from the Secretary of State in charge of sports, notably the Deputy Director General of AMPS, Mr. Ahmed Ali, and the Deputy Director of the regions, Mr. Yusuf Abdullah. On the occasion of the National Independence Day, the Djiboutian Archery Federation organized the June 27th Cup from 24 to 27 at the King Fahd complex, which ended yesterday. The tournaments are always an excellent opportunity for enthusiasts of the sport to demonstrate their talent and compete with the other competitors. This meant that participants had several days to prepare and were often divided into different categories according to age. Finally, the best archers were rewarded with trophies and medals for their outstanding performances. Trophies were also presented to the winners of each category by the hand of the guest of honor and the FDTA CEO. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, is in Japan on Tuesday to assess Japan's plan to discharge some of the water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant in the ocean. Rafael Grossi met Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and head of Japanese diplomacy Yoshimasa Hayashi in Tokyo before heading to Fukushima, northeast, on Wednesday to visit the plant devastated by the triple earthquake, tsunami, nuclear accident disaster of March 11, 2011. That tsunami triggered the meltdown of 3 reactors, Japan's worst post-war disaster, and the most serious nuclear accidents in the world since Chernobyl in Ukraine. Well, by this, our beloved viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you once again. Take care.